Everything good must come to an end. Now, the best we can hope for is the end is good. But sadly, that never happens. Because Umbrella Academy Season 4 just got the Game of Thrones Season 8 treatment. Umbrella Academy was one of the most enjoyable shows I had ever seen. I mean, it was no dark or an S tier show like Breaking Bad or I don't know. But it was pretty enjoyable, just like Stranger Things. It had the perfect environment, the perfect atmosphere, the gothic aesthetic, the interesting characters, great music. It was extremely enjoyable. It was also pretty unusual. Like many of the things I saw in the show, I had never seen before. It was unique. I really loved everything about the show. I normally hate when characters interact with each other and there's like unnecessary comedic stuff going on all the time. But this was the only time when it didn't make me mad because it was completely cringe free. It was written smartly. And I actually enjoyed the siblings bickering with each other. And the one character I loved the most was actually two characters, were number five and Klaus. Number five, I gotta say this, Aiden Gallagher is goated. Like, the show started when he was like 12 or something, and he had to pretend like he was a 50-year-old man trapped inside the body of a little boy, and he was so convincing playing that. It's amazing. I mean, he carried the show. Him and Klaus, the perfect portrayal of the flamboyant character who just doesn't care, the eccentric drug addict. I mean, it was amazing. And so were all the other characters, okay? They were all enjoyable in their own way. Season 1 and 2 were perfect, especially season 1. But season 3 onwards, things started to go downhill. Now, I would recommend you now to just watch the first two seasons. There were some things that happened in season 3 that were actually pretty good. Like, there was a new set of characters that was introduced. Um, One of the characters got a love interest, which was really wholesome to see. But the quality of the show had started to go downhill. It was pretty evident. Like, there was nothing interesting happening. Nothing actually made a lot of sense. Not to mention, the show had gotten very formulaic. Like, every season started with them getting in a new timeline or another universe, and then they would navigate through life, and ultimately, in the end, there would be some sort of fight scene, or the fight scene wouldn't even be that good. But I would say this was the third time this was happening. But this time, many people had problems with season 3 because for most people, it was because the show had gone woke. And by woke, I mean Ellen Page. Okay, so in season 1, she's a cis straight woman relationship with a guy. In the second season, because Ellen Page wants to be a lesbian, so the character is turned into a lesbian as well. And season 3, because Ellen Page wants to become Elliot Page. Now, again, the character is turned into a trans person. Now, many people thought this was the reason season 3 fell off, but honestly, that was a very small part of season 3. Even without that, season 3 did not have good writing. It was because, just like Game of Thrones, they ran out of original source material. So it was entirely on the director to write the story. And let's be honest, they weren't very good at it. They don't have a lot of creativity. Now let's talk about season 4. It has a lot of unnecessary focus on Alicent and her daughter and other things, okay? So, Gloss's story is completely underutilized, like his powers and everything. The whole build up to Ben's character and what he's going to do in the future, that's entirely not used at all either. Then we got Five. Five's character was completely done dirty, okay? There was one thing that really disgusted me. If you've already gotten the spoilers for it, like, that relationship was so unnecessary and weird. And there was one scene when they're sitting in the car and there's like Baby Shark playing. That was the only scene I actually enjoyed because I related to it. And I'll start puking and stuff. Luther, he's even more dumb now. Like, I don't know, he actually we got a love interest last season. This year he's like, I thought he was gonna improve or something. Nothing happened. They introduced a few other characters, and it's like the writer does not have any creativity. The suspend in the end was so fucking stupid. And let's be honest, Victor is fucking cringe. Okay, the entire show was like